It's Dr. Karen with this week's Hot Topic. So today I want to talk to you about empathy. Now, when we empathize with other people, it helps us see their situation from their perspective and imagine what it would feel like if we were them. Now, if we tend to act compassionately towards them as we would ourselves. So there's kind of a two-way street. Now, a lot of people get mistaken between what sympathy and empathy is. So first, let's talk about the difference. So sympathy is feeling more of the pity or concern for another person, whereas empathy is trying to understand and imagine what they're feeling. So kind of putting yourselves in their shoes. Sympathy has a tendency to put a distance between us and them. Empathy more is that feeling for alongside the other person, so you have more of a connection. So they've done a lot of research, and I'm going to talk to you about 5 main reasons why it's better to be empathetic. So the first one, there's some health benefits for reasons why if you're more empathetic versus you're sympathetic. So it does sound a little surprising, but compassionate people are better equipped to handle more stress than those non-empathetic people. So typically those who have learned to not be empathetic often has what is called like the second-hand stress, or they have a negative emotions that they actually pick up from somebody else, and they find that they're dragging themselves under when somebody else is stressed around them because they're not very empathetic, so they just pick it up. Now, compassionate people are they found that they're happier, they experience lower rates of depression and anxiety, so in general, it's a lot healthier for you to be empathetic than sympathetic. The second thing, it's good for improving your communication skills. So by learning to put yourselves in a perspective of others, you can actually find ways to explain your own perspective in more of a way that you can best communicate and resonate with somebody else or in that particular situation. They've also found that empathy can limit that misunderstanding because you'll be able to better gauge what somebody else is feeling, so you can pick up on some of those cues. Understand more of what somebody says, when they mean, when they're saying, and some of those things that can cause some pretty hectic communication issues. Empathetic people, they have a tendency to pay more attention to those around them and again pick up on those body languages, things that you may not necessarily notice if you weren't really paying attention for more empathetic. The third way, it's actually really good for work benefits and stress relief. So you have that enhanced communication skills, or one of the many reasons why people bring empathy into the workplace, because it leads to more teamwork. You have more useful conversations and successful business transactions. Teams who show more respect and more concern for one another are more likely to trust and value the input of everyone. So you don't feel like you're fighting against somebody or like, oh, well, we always go with their answer. It also does help prevent that workplace burnout. So that's something else. Being empathetic can help you be more effective and you won't get so stressed. So kind of like I said before, you're less stressed. The fourth thing it does is it guides our moral compass. So the importance of empathy comes from that personal relationships and helps hold our communities together. So when we create rules that make us safe, protect us from those things that are acting negatively or things that you're like, well, that's just not me, that can take care of the less fortunate. And we're also using that empathy to kind of guide towards those particular rules that we've set apart. So empathy, they found, is more of a foundation for the moral behaviors that create that healthier communication, help create communities, lifestyles, and all of those things that you can benefit from when you're a little bit more empathetic. Now, the last thing that empathy is really good for is it really just helps decrease the negativity in the world. So more people who are empathetic, again, I've said they're less stressed, they're more energetic, they're happier. So empathetic people are going to try and find, the positive aspects of life and not necessarily dwell on those negative aspects. So in general, that was just kind of an overflow of reasons why you should be more empathetic towards certain situations. Again, there are some negatives between being empathetic and sympathetic, but sometimes you just have to just put yourself in somebody else's shoes, especially when you're reacting to them, and you'll find that it's actually going to make you a lot healthier and happier. So that's all I have for you guys this week. Make sure you subscribe, like our channel, like our Facebook page, and I will see you guys next week.